What's up, everybody? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and along with me today is
Isaac Wan Kenobi.
And over here we got the Flash.
Landon Calrissian.
Welcome to another one of our Flash reviews, episode reviews. It is Tuesday night. It is Flash night, and as you can see, 2 out of 3 of us are wearing our Flash.
No, my Back to the Future shirt.
You're wearing your Back to the Future. Well, it's still kind of related. I mean, the Flash does a lot of time travel and stuff. But welcome to another one of our Flash reviews. It is good to have you with us tonight. Tiff-tastic is not here with us tonight. She's in the hospital recovering from bariatric surgery. I had bariatric surgery about 6 months ago. Altogether, since my start, I am... Yes! What's up, Royal? We're back at it again. Talking about the Flash. But yeah, so 6 months ago, I had bariatric surgery. I've lost 150 pounds since last November. And so Tiffany had her surgery yesterday, and she's doing really well. She's still a little out of it and everything, and obviously still in the hospital. So we look for her to come back in a flash. But until then, we're holding down the fort here. And tonight, we're in the toy room, and just thought we'd talk some Flash. All right, first of all, Isaac. I'll let you go first. Your first impression of this episode, episode 3, The Death of Vibe.
It definitely seemed like a little bit of like a more intense and a little bit of like a darker episode almost.
Yeah. What about you, Landon?
I absolutely loved this episode. I think this is the best episode this season. And it was just so packed full of like so entertaining stuff that we've been wanting to see.
Yeah.
Like, we got a lot more of Cicada in this episode.
Yes, we did. Yep, for sure.
And
what else?
These are spoilers, just so you guys know.
Yes, we are talking spoilers. I put that in the title, so just so you know. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, we are talking about stuff that happened in the episode. So go ahead.
The episode, it says like the death of Vibe, but It's not really the death of Vibe. You know what I mean?
But it is in a way. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So
They're kind of doing like an Arrow type thing because in season 3, Roy he worked with Oliver and he was trained by Oliver, and then they had a plan to basically prove that Oliver wasn't the Arrow again.
okay.
They did the same thing in season 1.
Yeah.
But he ended up. Everybody thought he ended up dying, so he ended up leaving Starling City, even though he was alive.
Gotcha. So I'll give my impressions of this just off the bat. Man, this was a great episode. This episode was kick butt. Like you said, Landon, we got to see a ton of stuff. There was a ton of action in this episode. We got to see Cicada. We got side stories with Caitlin and Ralph. We got to get a little deeper into the whole Nora, Barry, and Iris relationship. We got a new Wells.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sherlock Wells. Oh my goodness. Man, I'm trying to think of what else we got here. I mean, we got a little bit with Joe and Cecile.
We got to see a little bit of the Flash Museum at the very beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
So
was
let's
cool.
just talk about that. Flash Museum is obviously something that if you've read any of the Flash comics, you know the Flash Museum is something that is part of the comics. It is something that Central City has adapted. I mean, it's been around for a long time. The concept of that. How cool was that to see the Flash Museum?
It was really cool.
I mean, to see the Hall of Villains, and all of it. Savitar's suit was there. Reverse Flash, Zoom,
Trickster.
the Trickster. There was another one on the end. I can't remember what it was right now. If you remember what it is, please chime in. If you watched this episode, please chime in. We want to hear your thoughts as well as we go along.
That's what the one that they used for Weather Wizard.
Yep, the Weather Wizard's wand was there.
I thought-
Looks a lot like a lightsaber.
I thought it was interesting because like it looked like that it was like the stuff that was actually there, like the villain stuff.
Oh yeah,
But-
they showed the Iron Mask.
But
Oh yes.
oh yeah, in the Iron Mask. But they showed Savitar's suit, but it got destroyed, so it's probably not the real thing.
Yeah, well, it's a museum, right? So so I'm sure they're recreations of things. They probably have real things in that museum from when, from what they could get.
Yeah.
But the rest is probably, put back together. We're talking about a fictional museum in the future, folks, for a television show.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? So, but yeah, I mean, just the whole thing to be able to see how Nora was relaying information
Yeah.
from her memories of going to the Flash Museum and seeing things
her
about
as
her
like
dad.
a little kid looking at the cicada
Yeah.
newspaper thing.
Yes, yes. So that was very cool. So let's talk about. And there's so much I want to talk about, and I definitely want to talk about the end. I want to make sure that we get to
Yeah.
everything because this
Oh,
episode
yes,
was
yes, yes.
so chock full. I mean, there was so much in this episode.
This one's gonna be.
So okay, so let's talk about the Caitlin and Ralph story.
Yeah.
Ralph goes off and stops a burglary by a guy who's obviously into the environment and saving the environment. He brings his own bag, right, to put the money in. That's hilarious. And then
Ralph is like this big, huge.
Pair.
Pear,
Yeah.
as he gets his picture taken. But then he ends up taking Caitlin to see if he can find her dad, and her mom denies that he's alive.
But when they were looking at the stuff, they found like that perimetric table, I think.
Periodic.
Periodic table, yeah,
Periodic table.
yeah,
But it showed like all the regular stuff, and then it showed Caitlin's.
yep. Caitlin's elements, yes.
And then she said it was a game that me and my dad used to play.
Yep.
And then later in the episode, when she was like, Ralph came in and asked if she like needed anything, like needed help with anything. She said no, and then right as he left, she like put all this stuff together, and everything that was in Caitlin's periodic table
Yep.
spelled out a sentence.
Caitlin, come find me.
And then it zooms out, and then it shows a camera, and then it shows this guy in front of 4 screens that has Caitlin right there.
Yeah. So is that Caitlin's dad? And how is it that he has access to Star Labs?
Yeah, really.
Who is Caitlin's dad, for goodness sake, that he has access to Star Labs video cameras? And can I just put, while we're on the subject of Star Labs, so this has been one of my little pet peeves about the show for a long time. And every time they show the outside of Star Labs, I say the exact same thing, don't I, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do I say?
The top isn't finished.
Yeah.
Why don't they fix Star Labs? They've got tons of money. They've got all this stuff. Fix Star Labs. I love the fact that in the future, when it is turned into the Flash Museum,
So now it's
It's fixed.
they fixed it.
But I think it's funny. They don't have any money to fix it now.
Yeah. So Caitlin's dad is obviously not dead. We knew that already, but her mom wants her to believe that he's dead. So what part do you think her mom played in his death?
I think she's the one that made the death certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we saw that when Cisco vibed the death certificate.
Yep.
Yeah,
That
we
she
saw her.
forged the signature.
Oh, thanks so much, Royal. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, she is. She's doing really well. I will definitely tell her that she's in your thoughts, and tell her that you miss her for sure. She'll be glad to hear that. So not only that. Yeah, I mean, Caitlin's dad is going to play a major part this season.
It seems like it.
It seems like it, right? And so, okay, so let's talk about Nora. And Nora has come back in time now. She's made the mistake of coming back. She kind of ruined the timeline. We find out that she brought Cicada on early.
Yeah.
And then they bring the new Wells into a Sherlock Wells.
And then she thought he died.
Well, before that,
Yeah.
Sherlock gets him to go after
Well,
this other guy,
Hirsch.
this guy named Hirsch, who ends up not being Cicada in their world, in their Earth, because he's there early. It's an early version of Cicada, not the original Cicada that Nora was used to. Wow, like that's pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty cool to see how they were able to lock Sherlock in there now that he'll be a part of the season.
Yeah.
Right? Because we all wanted to know how they were going to get Wells. Because one of the things that I love now about each season is how...
What Wells are we going to get
Yeah.
next?
Yeah,
Each
what
season
Wells?
has had a Wells. I love the can't think of his name. the white-haired Wells.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Wolfenstein Von Wells or something.
Yeah, something
whatever,
like that, yeah.
But he's hilarious, and because earlier in past seasons, he's just been like so annoying and like
Yep.
and like rude and kind of, and then when Cisco brings him back there, he's like so nice to Barry and
I know.
Iris and Nora, and then he's like, and then Cisco's like having an attitude about it, and then like, okay, that's enough.
That was definitely funny to see. But so we see that the Sherlock Wells was just kind of phoning it in.
Yeah.
Wasn't really putting anything to it because he had solved this case already in several other Earths.
35 Earths.
Yeah, I think it was 35, something like that. 32, 35.
37.
37.
There you go. 35 plus 2, 37. So he solved the mystery already, so he just figured it'd be the same thing, and come to find out it's not because Nora messed up the timeline. Then you see the connection between Barry and Nora getting challenged a little bit because of all people, Barry doesn't understand what she's going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she wants to change it so desperately. She wants to make it right, and so she's willing to do anything, and she's going through that whole process. But it's interesting to see that Iris saw that and was able to communicate. And we're going to talk about that, so stay tuned for a minute because don't go anywhere because we got to talk about the preview for next week and what happened at the end of this episode. We're almost there. So Nora's trying to fix things. You know, Barry has a conversation with her, tells her, you know, just stop, take a minute, find the best way to solve something. And you knew that was going to play.
I think it's kind of funny because Barry's like telling Nora like talking about the timeline and like all this other stuff when he like ruined the timeline like twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's like making sure she doesn't ruin the timeline.
Yeah, but you knew that was gonna play into the ending or somehow play into it where she was gonna have to stop and take a minute and think like Barry told her to.
Yeah. As we saw, she went in the flash time at the end.
Yep.
Was thinking about what he said.
Yep. And so, you know, so it obviously did. Okay, so we got all those people out of the way. So then we come down to Nora thinks that that they have found the right you want to see this Flash in a Justice League movie. You know, I just want to see so we could take a side break. That's cool. Thank you, Royal, for chiming in. So here's my thing on that. I love this version of the Flash. I love Grant Gustin, and there was a time when I would have agreed with you and said, yeah, I want this Flash in the Justice League. I think now I'm at the point where I think they can both exist separately. Ezra Miller, at first I didn't know if I was going to quite like him.
Yeah.
You know, and like his version of the Flash. Once I saw Justice League, I'll be honest with you, I really liked it.
Yeah, I really like him. Yeah.
It's a different version of the Flash. It's somebody else. But you know, we have the movie Flash, and we have now the TV Flash.
Ezra Miller was more like funny and like jokey.
Yeah, and that's how the Flash is in the comics, and has been in the past representations of the Flash. The Flash that we have on the TV series,
he's like more serious.
He's much more serious, and that's not always been the Flash. You know, so
but he's still a good Flash. So.
Yeah, he's still a good Flash. So as much as I love this Flash, I don't know if I'd want to see him cross over into the movies unless they do a Flash universe. Yes, unless they did a thing in the Flash movie where like their version of Flashpoint or something contained all of these crossovers for all the multiverse and everything, where we see all these different versions of Flash, then yes, absolutely. But stay tuned because we're going to be talking about something that's similar to that when we talk about the Elseworlds episode in just a second. The Elseworlds episodes that are coming up this December in the crossover event. We're getting to that. We're almost there. Yeah, we're almost there. So Nora just overreacts. She's just bound and determined. She thinks that you know this guy has to be Cicada, and he's not. She's just trying to fix everything really quick. Doesn't work out. And so then we come down to the end where Cicada goes after Joe, trying to find Cisco. And that's where we could get the name of the episode, which is the death of Vibe. And so it comes down to he captures Vibe. He gets Vibe out in the middle of a woods, and it looks like Vibe is done for, man. You know.
I really thought he was gonna be. I really thought he was gonna die.
I thought that even if they killed off the character, that there would be
Something.
some catch to it, because I just couldn't see them getting rid of Cisco as a character.
I feel like they would have done kind of like a Sarah Lance type thing, because she died in season 3 of Arrow, and then they bring her back in season 4,
Mm-hmm.
because of Constantine.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling if they did kill off Cisco, they'd do something like that.
I thought that if they did kill Cisco off, that somehow Nora, like by the end of the season, the timeline would be fixed.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was not looking forward to that idea. So I thought the way that they did it was awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked the way that they solved that, because Nora ends up going out. She, instead of jumping, and you saw the electricity go all around, instead of jumping at the chance to go save her dad and to save Vibe, she stops and thinks about it first in flash time, and then is able to make a good decision and go out. And when she gets there, we just see the explosive part from the particle accelerator. Turns out she also threw Vibe one of his what is that called?
I can't remember what he called it, but it was
But what's one of the devices that allows him to open up a breach without his powers? And we didn't see that. And neither did Cicada. So when he throws the bomb at Cicada, Cicada deflects it, comes back, boom, explodes. We think that Vibe is no more.
And then Cicada steps on his glasses. The Flash even remarks that he's gone. To all intents and purposes, we think that Vibe is gone. And then we find out no, because Nora made a good decision. She made the right decision, and she went ahead and threw him one of those tachyon pieces. I think it's a tachyon piece, isn't it, or something like that? Yeah.
That opens up a breach or whatever. It was great. It was awesome.
And then, like, after she did that, she's like, "Did I do a good job, Dad?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, you did a great job," because Barry's been like so mad at her for like jumping and like doing all this other stuff. So she was asking if she did a good job.
Yeah. And so that was really cool. And so then we come to the end of the episode. So they're faking Vibe's death to basically appease Cicada, so Cicada won't keep coming after him. So that's cool. So it'll be interesting to see the rest of the season where that goes. Also, though, here's the thing. Comes down to the end, and Iris offers to let Nora come live with her and Barry. And once again, Nora hugs Barry.
And not Iris.
And she's been very standoffish with Iris this whole season so far. And it's been weird. It's been awkward.
It's like anytime like the gang is like talking about something, like it shows like Nora, and then it shows Iris, and then like Nora like looks away or something.
Yeah. And so it's like she's avoiding Iris. And then we get the preview for next week. Well, before the preview for next week,
yeah, we need to talk about the
Wells pulls Nora up and says, "Oh, by the way, it was your decision to come back in time, right? Yours alone. You were the only one who made the decision." She's like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, before she can say yeah or even try to lie her way out of it, he says, "Oh, but of course it was. The temptation was just too great for you, and you gave in to it." And she's like, "Well, yeah," and turns around and leaves. And it was at that moment I realized what was going on. Iris sent her back in time to try to save the timeline, save her dad. The writing of this Flash series was done really well. Yes, this episode was written so well. There were so many components, and they all worked really well. Sometimes we see episodes that are like really fragmented, and especially when they got a lot of different stories going, it's hard to like pay attention.
The only thing that I have a problem with the Flash series, it's not a bad thing, but like it's like every episode it's like the exact same thing. Like, oh, we need to do this. Oh, we need to do this. And then like they talk for a minute and then they like I feel like they do that like every episode.
This year hasn't been so bad.
It hasn't been
Last
like
year was horrible for that.
Yes.
I mean, every episode I was saying it was the same exact episode every time. There's a problem. Barry wants to solve it right away. Barry
No.
runs out. No, you all stay here. I have to be the one to fix it. Goes out, messes something up. At the end, they all come together, work together, they fix it, and then nobody learned anything by the time the episode was. Because next week they do the exact same thing. It was like repeat it next week.
Yeah.
But this season so far has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it hasn't been like that.
Oh my goodness, it has not been like that. And so why do we think that Iris sent her back? Because then right after we get that reveal from Wells, the preview for next week shows Iris saying to Barry, "How could I have done that to her? To put all that on her?"
And both of them are talking to each other, crying. in the
Oh!
preview.
And then it shows Nora like saying like I can't remember if it was like I'm gonna kill you or something like that.
Yeah, so there's some issue there where maybe she's being mind controlled or something, where she's attacking the Flash. So next week's episode. Now I can't wait for next week's episode.
Maybe like Cicada like did something and like control her or something. I don't know.
Maybe, but man, I can't wait for next week's episode because to end it like that, where they suggest that Iris is the one who sent Nora back in time to save her dad or to save the
It's
timeline or
crazy
whatever.
to think.
Wow, what a reveal at the end. Like I said, overall, this episode was great. Out of 5, I would give this episode a 5. This felt like one of those like just phenomenal episodes in a series that you don't even want the episode to end.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
I said, there's a lot of times where the writing can be very fragmented and you don't know exactly what's happening and like it doesn't follow everybody really well. Even the side stories of this episode, phenomenal. Done so well. Landon, what would you give it out of 5?
I would give it a 5.
Yeah?
too.
How about you, Isaac?
I'd say a 5. I really like this new Wells.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, like when we first saw him, that he like went around the table and say and point out something to everybody.
Yep.
It's not my favorite Wells, but it's one of them.
Yeah. My favorite Wells is
It's
Earth
Harry.
2 Wells.
It is?
Well, I mean, original Harry was good, but Earth 2 Wells...
No, like Harry that died from Sabotage.
HR.
Yeah, HR.
Oh, HR,
HR.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. That's not, no, you're right. You're
HR
right.
was the best.
Yes. HR was the best Wells because we got to know him. He was the second Wells.
Yeah,
He was the first good Wells that we saw, and so, yeah, we'll miss him for sure. But okay, so that was this episode of The Flash. We love that episode of The Flash. Let's talk about it. I did a video for this, but we got to talk about this, and that is the crossover event is coming up in December. You got those dates?
I think
December 11th?
It's December 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah.
It starts on Sunday and ends on Tuesday.
What in the world? Let's finish up this review by talking about that. Because we got Superman. We got Lois Lane. We got Batwoman. We got
John Wesley Shipp.
well, hold on. We've got Grant Gustin wearing the Arrow costume and Steve Amell wearing the Flash costume. And now this week it was revealed we get John Wesley Shipp's Flash from the 90s. Oh my goodness. What an awesome thing. Now, some of you, if you've been around the channel for a while, you'll remember that one of our biggest videos, one of the videos that actually kind of sprung us out to where people were noticing us, and a lot of subscribers are here because of that video, was I did a video years ago about who I thought the Man in the Iron Mask was. And my theory was that he was John Wesley Shipp's Flash.
Yep.
From 1990. And because we got an episode, the very first episode where they went over to Earth 2, in the cloud little thing where they were going through, they saw different characters. So they saw Supergirl, and they saw Jonah Hex, and
The Legion Ring.
The Legion Ring, yes, the Legion Ring. And they saw John Wesley Shipp's The Flash. So we've seen all of those other things except for John Wesley Shipp's The Flash. No, we saw the Legion Ring.
it's
It
on
was in
Supergirl.
an episode of Supergirl.
Oh.
Yeah, and Jonah Hex was in Legends.
Yep.
So
he's on like one episode a season.
yeah. Now though, we are finally getting John Wesley Shipp, not as Jay Garrick the Flash, but as Barry Allen's The Flash from the 1990 series. If you have not watched that, you need to go and watch that. But hey, I know there's a couple of you still on here, so what do you guys think of that? Have you seen that? Did you watch the 1990s series? Chime in real quick, because we need to talk about this. This is big. When this series first started, when The Flash first started, that was one of the big stories about it, was that John Wesley Shipp was cast as Barry's dad because he played the Flash back in 1990. Also, we've seen the Trickster in the form of Mark Hamill, who was also on that original show.
And then they said that he's the new Trickster's dad.
Yep. And so, man,
It's crazy.
this is crazy, guys. Why don't just do the episode reaction? We did. We did. I'm not understanding. We did. Do you mean like non-spoiler, or are you meaning just to already do it? Because we already actually went over the episode. I mean, we love to give our viewers what they want. So if you would like non-spoiler reviews where we just do a reaction to it, we can do that. Do you mean like actually while we watch the episode? We could watch the episode live. We did that with Sharknado, where we watched the entire episode with you guys. So, I mean, we could definitely do that. If you guys would like to watch The Flash along with us, we would love to do that. I meant post it on the channel, your live reaction, if that makes sense. So as we're watching it, we could do that. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing us do that. I mean, we've done that with a few things in the past.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he said yes.
Yeah, well, hey, man, you know what? I think so. The only
Sharknado was also written well.
was also written well. I love Sharknado. Sharknado was the very first thing that got me and Tiff into doing reviews and stuff. So we had a little thing we called Spoiled back then, and that was what got us into it, was Sharknado 3, I think.
Yeah.
Sharknado 3. But hey, if you guys would love to watch The Flash with us, the only drawback that I will say to that is that sometimes we're not able to watch The Flash as it happens.
Yeah.
Tonight, like, for example, we had meant to start at 8 o'clock when it came on, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get on right at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so it was like about 8:30 before we could start watching The Flash, just because of the stuff going on with Tiff-tastic and everything. So we got home from the hospital and stuff. But I love that idea.
Yeah.
I really love that idea.
I'm sure people would watch it.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch The Flash with us, hey, give us a thumbs up. Let us know down in the comment section, and I'll let you guys know here in the next week. Maybe we'll try that next week. All right, what do you guys think? You guys come and watch The Flash with us? That'd be awesome. We'd love to watch The Flash with you guys. Just take it that one step further, right? And then do our review. I like that idea. You guys like that idea?
Yeah.
All right, I think we're in agreement. We're gonna make it happen. Royal says, I'm in. All right. Awesome. So, like, hey, we don't want to, the thing is, we don't want to take away from your guys' experience of watching The Flash either, so there's that. But yeah, if you guys want to watch The Flash with us, man, we will definitely try to make more of a point to start right at 8 o'clock, to be able to watch The Flash live with you guys. I like it. I dig that. That's a great idea. Thank you. See, that's what our channel is about. We're not just up here going, hey, we dictate what you see and what happens. We love ideas from our viewers, and we love to accommodate. So yeah, so if you guys want to watch that with us, absolutely, we'll make that happen. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yep.
But like I said, so this episode of The Flash, hey, I think it was hold on a second here. Yeah. So is it Windham Travaris? Windham Travaris. So I'm gonna call you Windy. Is that all right? I'll call you Windham. What did you think of this episode of The Flash? Did you watch this episode of The Flash? As we wait for the response. Because we loved this episode of The Flash. This was one of our favorite episodes. For me, it's one of my favorite episodes. What did you think?
As of right now, it's one of my favorites.
It's definitely, I mean, the season premiere was really good.
Yeah.
But
This season is definitely my favorite. It's not my favorite episode overall, but it's my favorite epised this season.
yeah, of this season so far, yeah, I thought it was even better than the first episode.
Yeah.
For
It is
sure.
better than the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, just like Royal was talking about everything. The writing for this episode was phenomenal.
fantastic.
Was
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's about it. We have to. We got to run. Pun intended. We got to run, but hey, it was so good sharing this time with you guys. Thank you guys for coming back and being with us for our review of The Flash, episode 3, The Death of Vibe. Man, what a good episode. All right, guys, until next week, look for more on the channel. Also, yeah, we'll make an announcement about watching The Flash with you guys, okay? And as long as we're able to do it. Oh, thanks so much, Royal. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Wind. Appreciate everybody who's watching. And if you're watching this video later, appreciate you too. Thanks for watching the video later, all right? And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, if you're watching this later and you have not subscribed to the channel, please join us on this journey, all right? Join us in this group because what is the Poindexter Lounge?
A place for nerds.
That's right. It's a place for nerds, a place for you and me and us to all talk about this stuff and have some fun doing it. And we are almost to 5,000 subscribers. It's an exciting time right now for us. So thank you for being a part of it. We appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, my name is Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, along with
Isaac Juan Kenobi.
and
Landon Calrissian.
we will see you next time. All right. Bye-bye. Have a good night.